this is Cat's Diamond Painting. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've joined me here before. I am here today to do a kitten chat. This is where I kit up my next project while I'm on video with you and just have a chat to you about what's going on in my world, all my news, such as it is. And yeah, hopefully we can keep each other company for a bit. So I am going to be kitting up today. I choose you. Sorry, I can't quite get it to show properly in camera, but you'll see it in a bit. So this is a 60 by 60 square centimeter painting. Square centimeter? That doesn't make much sense. You know what I mean. From Diamond Art Studio, and I've decided to kit this up because it is one of two Christmas designs that I want to do this year. And because Diamond Art Studio is running an event in November called the Purple Post event. And I just thought, you know, a bit like the last event I joined in on, I often don't bother with them, but if something that I want to be working on anyway aligns with an event, then it's fun to join in and do it with other people. So it's called the Purple Post event because purple is Diamond Art Studio's colour. Their branding is all very purple. Items arrive in brown paper with like a beautiful purple ribbon. It's purple all the way with them. So yeah, when post arrives from them, we often call it Purple Post, and that is the name of the event. I did unbox this kit when I got it, which I think was probably around about a year ago now. So I will show you it quickly, but if you want to take a proper look at it, I would suggest going back and watching that. Because I'm only going to show you a quick glance of it today. So, first of all, I have got my sticker sheet. And you can see there the image. It's lovely, isn't it? I do really enjoy Christmassy designs like this where it is Christmassy because there's a Christmas tree, you know, it's very much seasonally appropriate, but it's also not full on Christmas because I feel like that way I can do a couple of paintings and not get burned out of Christmassiness. So yeah, 43 colours, shouldn't be too bad to kit up, hopefully. I'm going to be using my round bottle storage case that I picked up very, very cheap on Amazon recently. My friend Claire over at Diamond Painting Nerd did put a video up about these, and it was a while ago, so unfortunately the price is probably no longer available. But these were $4.99 for 60 round pots. Pretty amazing. The only thing that I can tell about it that is different to other ones is that the foam is a bit less sturdy, that has more give in it, and the lid is not as deep, so I'm not going to be able to store as much in there. But for $4.99, who is complaining? So this is the painting. Let me just roll it back on itself so you can see it properly. And obviously because I bought this last year, this is Diamond Art Studio's older style of canvas, not the newer, softer one that they've started bringing out, which I do prefer the look of, but I was quite happy working on the last one I did from them on this kind of canvas, so it is not a problem. Okay, here we go. So there you are. You can have a quick look at it. Lots and lots of colour blocking in this one. I'm thinking that might get a little much for me after a while, but I'll probably break it up with the other one that I'm going to do. So yeah, I'll get started on this, focus on it a bit more in the month of November because of the event, but then also at some point during November get the other one that I'm doing going. And then, yeah, I can alternate between them a bit for some variety. But this is just so gorgeous. I love the sort of Dr. Seuss type style that Esther Anavoros paintings have. It's just, yeah, it's very me, slightly abstract-y, surreal element, and she's a hugely popular artist with Diamond Art Studio, so you should definitely go check out her stuff. So, this is what I'm doing. Right, let's get going. I'll just put that to the side. And I think I'm going to put some, what's the word I'm looking for? Washi tape on these bottles, just because I haven't worked with these stickers before. So yeah, just to make sure that they come off nice and easily. Oh yeah, I'd forgotten this. So these stickers are like individual, like the actual symbol comes off like that. And then so does this bit, the DMC. So I think I'll probably just put the symbol on then in that case. That'd be nice and easy. Oh, but I need to be able to match them up, don't I? So I should do both of them. Okay, yeah, both of them. That could have been an error. An error! Oh, goodness me, can't talk today. Okay, so the first thing that I like to do on my chatty videos is just to go over any questions that I've had on previous ones from my viewers. And I have a few questions here from the lovely Mama's Craft Therapy 89. Oh, straight away I've ripped off too much for that one. So first of all, she said, have you tried other companies such as Dreamer Designs, Paint with Diamonds, etc.? And what is your personal review of them? And I think she's asked it like that because if this person is who I think it is, then she knows me to be someone who works on a lot of Diamond Art Club paintings. We are in a DAC Fans UK Facebook group together and that kind of thing. But yeah, the answer is yes. Clearly, because I'm working on a Diamond Art Studio this month. And Diamond Art Studio is another company that I really, really, really rate. The ones that you asked about specifically, I have worked on a couple from Dreamer Designs. I think I've done 3 from them. And I quite like them. I think I started off being more of a fan of them than I ended up. And that was probably a lot to do with my own personal diamond painting journey where I just went off high confetti pieces a little bit, or didn't go off them so much as I find them harder going now that I'm more confident with a multi-placer. So I need to break them up a lot with other things. That's probably more fair to say. So I did, let's see, I did one called Twisted Blossom from them, which was absolutely stunning, but very, very, very high confetti. And then I did La Porta Rossa sulla Salita, which was absolutely stunning again. I really enjoyed that one actually. I think I had quite a slow start with it, but then once I got into it, I couldn't put it down. And then the last one I did from them was called the Old Waterway Cottage. And long-time viewers might remember all the times that featured in videos because it took me about a year. And that's because I did not enjoy it as much as I thought I would. The confetti was intense. The picture was, I think, a little bit smaller than it needed to be, which meant the confetti was worse. And also that the finished image was still fairly pixelated. So yeah, I have worked on ones from them. I'm interested to work on one of the ones I've got from them since they did some upgrades, because I think a clearer canvas and softer canvas material will really help, because those were some of the issues I had with them as well. But they're not my favourite until they start rendering in a bit more of a variety of sizes. I think, I mean, I've definitely said this before, so I'll try and cut short my waffling in a moment, but they are a company that likes to standardise the sizes of their paintings. A lot of the paintings they do are the same size as each other, regardless of what the original painting was. And I think sometimes that works. Sometimes it means you get a piece that is just too pixelated, and I'm not a fan of that. Paint with Diamonds, they are another one that I have worked on right at the start. So that was like, literally did my first diamond painting within a few days, was online looking up diamond painting companies and ordering things. And they were one of the very first ones I ordered. And I worked on them fairly early on, I think. It was probably only about the 4th or 5th painting that I ever did. And it was a Leonid Alfremov painting, who is an artist that is right up my street. Really bright colours, abstract-y, landscape type things, absolutely gorgeous. And I believe it was actually licensed with them, which is good. At the time, I didn't really know about licensed artwork, so that wasn't something I was looking for. But in retrospect, you know, glad that was the case. But they are a company that in general does use artwork that isn't licensed, which is something that I personally choose to avoid. now I know about it. The bigger issues I had with them though were the quality. The one that I did, and I've only done one from them, so I could have been unlucky. You know, I don't want to be unfair because I know a lot of people really like them as a company. But the one that I did was not great. It is the only painting that I have ever needed to seal because of popping drills. So it was double-sided tape. That's fine, but you know, maybe had something to do with it. And yeah, the drills just weren't great. They were popping a lot and it drove me mad. So it definitely put me off doing any more with them. Just working out, so that's 30, this will be 36. 42, so I need 2 more rows and 1, right. And then yeah, I've worked on a few others over the years now that I've been doing this. I've worked on one from Crafties, I've worked on one from the one with the diamond art, I've worked on diamond dots paintings, so I have worked on a few and I do like trying different companies. I've got several in my stash from companies that I'm looking forward to working on but haven't got round to yet. So yeah, I definitely don't only stick to one company, but obviously a lot of what I do is from Diamond Art Club. And I think going forwards, probably there's going to be a lot more Diamond Art Studio too, because I really love what they're doing. Okay, secondly, what is your favourite theme for diamond painting? I know you mentioned your worst and best, but if you could only buy one theme for the rest of your diamond painting journey, what would that be and why? Ooh, that's a tricky one. I mean, I love landscapes, but I probably wouldn't say that because I think that would get quite samey. I'm not a big one for kind of fantasy and you know, more darker kind of paintings, mainly just because of the colorways. They tend to be literally darker as well as having darker themes. And I just don't tend to enjoy that because I like bright colours. Gosh, that's a really tough one. Is abstract a theme? Could I say abstract? Because I feel like that would cover a lot of the things that I enjoy. You know, a lot of them would probably come under that umbrella. And then that covers, well, I mean, that could cover things like landscapes, like people, like animals, like just literal abstracts. I don't know. Is that cheating? It feels a bit like it might be cheating. But yeah, I'm really struggling to give you a better answer on that one. Right, I'm going to cut this so that I've just got this strip to deal with. I think I might have to kind of wimp out that one and not answer it any more than that because I really can't think how I would narrow it down, because I am someone that isn't particularly led by theme. I'm led by the painting and just how much I enjoy a particular painting and my mood and, you know, what I've worked on recently and all those kind of things. So yeah, that's a really difficult question for me. Okay, next up, she asked, who is your top 5 artists from DAC? Or your favourite company if you wanted to use a company aside from DAC. So Diamond Art Club, well, I would have to say Richard Lorenz, given the amount of his that I've bought. Gosh, these are really hard questions today. Either that or my brain is not in gear. So teeny tiny sticker. So Richard Lorenz, maybe someone like Abraham Hunter. Gosh, I don't know. There's only a few that oh, that's not peeling off properly. What am I doing wrong with this? I wonder if I would be better just sticking the whole thing on. Do you know what? It might be a lazy option, but I'm thinking I might just sellotape these on, because these little stickers just for these parts, I think it's just going to be a bit more fiddly than I need. So I'm going to trim this down properly, and then I'm just going to cut them and stick them on. Just make life a bit easier for myself. Can't line it up. Yeah, I wouldn't say there's any such thing as an artist that I'm going to buy absolutely every single one that they come out with. And my tastes have changed over time. So for instance, I used to do a lot of Chuck Pinson paintings. But now I kind of feel like I've done that, and I'm not so bothered about doing those anymore. But I do love Abraham Hunter. I love Katrina Coltez. A lot of Dimitri Milan ones have been my cup of tea. I need to trim these edges as well. This is going well, isn't it? Super smooth today. I should have prepared better for what I was actually going to do. What's that? Have I said 3? Ooh, Mad Art Studios is one that I really, really enjoy. So let's call that 4 because I've lost count. And one more. Maybe Randall Spangler, I guess, because I have done quite a few Randall Spanglers and I like to have them in my stash and get round to them quite often. Image World is another one that does a lot of beautiful pieces. Oh, I'm rubbish at this. I can't narrow it down. But I think that's what I'm like in general in life. I'm not, like, my tastes are so changeable and variable over time. I don't really have things like favourite bands and favourite books and favourite films. It just depends on my mood, you know. So at least I'm being consistent. And what else did you ask? What tips do you have for multi-placing using your tips you sell on the shop? Well, firstly, I would say that the tips that I sell on the shop are slim metal multi-placers, and they are good. They're definitely worth a try. But I will say straight away, there are better ones available on the market. Like the very thin multi-placers that Diamond Art Club offers. I cannot source anything like that, and those are pretty unbeatable, I think. But I didn't need to do all this, did I? Because now I'm just sticking sellotape. Oh well. But the ones that I use, just treat like any other multi-placer. Obviously, if you're used to plastic ones, you'll have to adapt a bit to the fact there's not giving them in the same way. But you would load them in the same way. They are slim enough that they shouldn't be butting up against the drills around you. If they don't quite fit in your pen, as sometimes metal multi-placers don't, you can just wrap a bit of washi tape around the base and put it in that way. But in terms of how to multi-place, it's like I say, it's just kind of I suppose that's a more general question of what are my multi-placing tips. And I wouldn't say that I have anything particularly valuable to offer on that hasn't already been done by other creators. I think everything that I learned about multi-placing, I pretty much learned from watching other creators make YouTube videos. And then I tried all the things and found out what worked for me. Because there's a lot of different styles of doing it, and ultimately you just have to play around with it and figure out what suits your hand and your workspace. So there are things that, you know, people say are an absolute must with multi-placing that I don't do. Like I don't do much of a rocking motion necessarily, for instance. Although I suppose I do with rounds. But yeah, I mean, maybe at some point in the future I will bring together all of the ways that I multi-place. and put that in a video, but I'm very conscious that it would just really be pulling together information that I had gained from elsewhere. And there are some brilliant videos out there already on multi-placing, like Diamonds and Washies videos, for instance. I learned a lot of tips from, and the ones that I haven't watched, friends have watched and have gained tips from them and passed on to me. So yeah, there's kind of a wealth of information out there about those. Yeah, so another question I feel like I haven't answered properly for you, but yeah, that's sort of the best I can do on that. Sorry. And last but not least, you asked, what are your favourite drill and drill colour? So ABs, fairy dust, glow drills, iridescent, shimmer, crystal, etc. Well, do I have a favourite? I mean, I can't say it depends on my mood again, can I? That's just boring, even if it's probably true. I do like my special drills. I used to find them quite frustrating, but now that I make a putty that handles special drills fairly well, I mean, it does depend a little bit on things like how heavy a presser you are, but generally, the vast majority of people, and certainly I find that it works well on them. So now that they're not a pain to work with, I do really enjoy having a good amount of ABs in a painting. I think the fairy dust drills that Diamond Art Club brought out this year are gorgeous. The sort of more subtle glittery effect, because I like ABs often to be used quite sparingly, I suppose. Oh, I've pulled that one off the... Oh, well, that's all come off in one. Am I being stupid again? Could I actually just be peeling these off and putting them down in one? What is with my brain today? Oh, well, that one doesn't want to come off. Oh, what am I doing? Okay. I'll find my way through them eventually. I think now I've just got these cut to a point where it's hard to get my nails around the mizzle. But yeah, this is probably a bit quicker, isn't it? So yeah, really enjoy fairy dust. I've only actually worked with them in one painting so far, which was in Kitten. And they were used, there was quite a lot of them in there. And yeah, I really enjoy the subtle effect of them. They add something different to the painting without overwhelming it. And I enjoy that a lot. Glow in the dark drills, I can take or leave. I think I've only used them in one painting so far, and I found it quite hard to charge them up. I don't know if they were a bit old or if I wasn't using the right kind of light on them or whatever it was, but I found it very hard to get them to glow, and then it didn't last very long anyway. So it was a bit, you know, meh, whatever. I know a lot of people really like them. Iridescent, shimmer, crystal. I think a lot of those names are kind of interchangeable because, for instance, Diamond Art Club calls certain drills iridescent drills that I think other companies would just call crystal drills. So yeah, I quite like those. I'm not personally a huge fan of paintings that are just exclusively crystal drills. I have done one in the past and it came out nice, but they're not my preferred thing, mainly because there's not so many colours that they can do, so you inevitably have less shading and that kind of variation that I personally really enjoy to make a picture come to life a bit more. But yeah, I think I like variety, so I like having a bit of all these things across the different things that I use, if that makes sense and doesn't sound like too much of a cop-out, which it might do. It's going to take me ages to do this. I wonder if I should just put some drills in a minute because I'm going so slow. Don't know where my brain is today. So yeah, thank you for your questions. Anyone else who's got some questions, please feel free to pop them down below. It's really nice to have prompts of things that I know someone is actually interested in hearing about out there. Because yeah, I have to say, I find these chatty videos hard, you see. I know a lot of creators do them very regularly, but for me, I think it's, I love to chat about my life and share things with you, but equally it's quite hard sometimes to just figure out which things I want to share, because obviously, you know, I don't tell you absolutely everything that goes on in my life. And I find it hard just to kind of talk for a while. You know, it sometimes feels a bit mad standing in my empty house just chatting away. Anyway, I enjoy doing them, but yeah, I don't find them the easiest. Oh, that's gone well, hasn't it? I've lost all the actual... Ay, ay, ay. Right, let me stick that down. I don't think they do their stickers this way anymore, by the way. So this kind of slightly more fiddly setup, I'm pretty sure I only have to do for this kit. Yeah, so how have things been with Harry the kitten? That's probably a good place to start, because that's kind of been a lot of what's going on around here, to be honest. He's doing well. He is an absolute pain in the bottom a lot of the time, as every self-respecting kitten is. Him and Xander, my older cat, are... I mean, they're past the point where they're scared of each other and anything like that. But Harry does not believe in giving Xander any personal space. So that's the biggest challenge, is that if Xander's trying to sleep somewhere, Harry will kind of stalk him and jump on him. And I assume he's just trying to play. There's maybe a little bit of kind of fighting for dominance going on, but mostly probably just trying to play. But it's obviously not fair on Xander if he can't ever get any peace. So just try and manage that as best as possible, really. And distract him with toys and that kind of thing. He is still very, very bitey. It can be quite tricky to even disengage him when he's on a bite-a-thon. Like, he'll do this thing where he kind of gets his claws and like wraps himself around my arm and hangs on, and then the ears go back into airplane mode, and that's when you know you're really in trouble. And then it's just nom 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 nom, and he doesn't pull his punches. You know, you really feel those bites, so that's tricky. We actually have our 4-year-old niece staying this weekend, so there's going to have to be a lot of supervision to make sure he's never alone with her in a way where she could try and pet him and he bites her, because obviously that is something that we want to avoid. He is very loving and snuggly, which has been really enjoyable for me, because my older cat Xander is the absolute apple of my eye, or whatever you want to say that doesn't sound a bit weird, because he's a cat, not a human. I absolutely adore him. But he's British short hair, and they're not known for being kind of lap cats or snuggly. And that's fine, that's him. But I do kind of miss having a cat that wants to snuggle up to me. You know, he'll lie on my legs in the bed at night in winter when it's cold, but that's more about using me for warmth. He'll never, ever, ever sit on my lap. Usually doesn't even want to sit right next to me or anything like that. And he hates being picked up with a burning passion. So, suffice it to say, he is not a snuggler. Harry, on the other hand, when he's in the mood, is super snuggly. He does this thing sometimes. If I'm lying on my bed relaxing, and I often lie on my front, kind of propped up on a pillow, he'll come in and sort of tuck himself under my chin, like in the space where I've got myself propped up. Oh, why have I done that? And yeah, he's very sweet. And he purrs and looks really content. And I'm like, oh, I think he loves us. I think he knows that this is home. I might go back to sellotaping the rest of these. I think it would be quicker. I can't make up my mind. But yeah, he is absolutely adorable. I'm a bit obsessed with them both, to be honest. I'm the original crazy cat lady. Oh, that's so much quicker. Why haven't I been doing that? What is wrong with me? This is the problem with doing these videos. I can't think and talk at the same time. He has been a bit poorly though, so I don't know if he somehow picked up a bug or if he, you know, maybe his food was bad or something. I really don't know. But he got quite poorly. Sort of last Friday, he suddenly, well, he wasn't eating that much. He didn't want any lunch, which was unusual for him. And then I was in the kitchen and I heard this absolute howl, and I kind of panicked and ran in and thought one of the cats had killed each other, you know. But it was just him under the table looking kind of shocked. So I went to reach in and get him out, and he just vomited everywhere. Sorry, it's a bit gross. I should have warned you before launching into this story. And yeah, everything came up and he was clearly feeling quite poorly. So I took him to the vets and they checked him over and said, he seems fine, you know, he's not got a temperature, there's no particular signs of illness. He doesn't seem dehydrated or anything, you know, clinically he's fine. So we'll just keep an eye on things and see, you know, maybe give him plain food, etc., etc. So we did that. He seemed quite okay that evening. And Saturday he seemed quite okay. Saturday was the day I filmed my last video. Not my last video, my small shop showcase video. Anyone who's seen that will have seen that he was feeling quite bubbly in that one, because he was all over the place and up in my grill. But then a Sunday, he seemed to lose his appetite again. Oh, how have I missed that one? And he was eating very little. And then Monday, still eating very little, and suddenly started vomiting again, and actually vomited quite a few times. So I took him back to the vet, and they said, again, clinically he seems okay, but obviously this isn't normal. He's a kitten. He was actually losing a bit of weight at this point as well. So we want to do further tests, and they took him into the back to do a blood test. But then she came back and said, you know, basically he's very wriggly. He's got very small veins because he's a kitten, and we can't get the blood out with him awake, or at least not fully alert. So what they suggested was the next day I took him in, and they were going to give him gabapentin, which is a kind of, it just sort of, it makes them relaxed, basically. Relaxed and a bit dopey. So they were going to do that. And then if that didn't work, if the gabapentin wasn't enough, he'd have to be sedated. And they were going to take bloods and then also do a scan to check for any kind of obstruction or anything nasty like that. The problem with all of this, of course, was that I have sorted insurance for him. I sorted it over the weekend, but I didn't get round to it immediately after he moved in. And our pet insurance, like most, does not insure you for illnesses in the first 2 weeks. I mean, for obvious reasons, so you can't think, oh, my pet's ill, quick, let's get them insured so that we don't have to pay for it. But yeah, I was going to have to pay for all of this out of pocket, which was a bit daunting because the vet's bills aren't cheap. But, you know, we've got to do our best by him. So I took him in the next morning, but then they actually said, how's he doing? And I said, he hasn't been too bad. You know, they sent me home the previous day with some gastro food. He'd kept that down. I think he'd been sick once overnight, but pretty small, and he seemed pretty lively that day. And they said, well, look, given that he's still doing okay and he's keeping food down, you know, that's all good signs that there's not something nasty like an obstruction. Do you want to just wait and see a bit longer? So I said, you know what, if the vet thinks it's safe to leave it a bit longer and watch him a bit longer, then yes, because, you know, it was going to be a lot of money, guys. It was a bit daunting. So I took him home, and then actually the past few days he has been fine. He's got his appetite back. He's still eating the gastro food, and he's absolutely loving that. eating so much of it, clearly on a catch-up mission. And he's full of beans. So it looks like whatever it was has just passed, which is good. Very happy about that. Oh. Yeah. So that was our story of woe this week. I was so worried about him. But he seems like he's okay. And he's going in on Tuesday to have his castration and be microchipped. So, I mean, he is ours already because it's been over 5 weeks since he was dumped and clearly no one's coming looking for him. But as of Tuesday, he will be microchipped and properly registered to us. So that will feel quite nice. What else has been going on? It's half term here this week. And I've actually closed the shop for the week, partly because I needed a rest. Making putty is quite hard on the hands and arms, and I think it's important to schedule in a week off every so often. Partly because it was half term and I wanted to spend some time with my son, and we actually had a lovely day out yesterday, which I'll probably chat about in a bit. And partly because it's been a really hectic time in the shop and I needed a bit of time to finalise the advent calendar that I'm bringing out on the 1st of November. I'm not sure actually when I've got this video scheduled for, whether it will already have come out or not by the time this goes up. But yeah, I'm doing this advent calendar and it's been great fun, but it's quite a lot of work to bring it together. So by the end of last week, when I closed the shop, I had everything done for it, but I needed to pack it up and I knew that was going to take me a while. So this week I've been gradually chipping away at that and have actually made a little bit of putty because I wanted to get ahead of myself with my Christmas putties for the non-advent calendar releases. So yeah, it's been chaotic. It takes me about an hour to pack up 6 advent calendars. So yeah, it's taken a little while to get through it all. Right. Let me get on with putting some drills in, finally. I cannot believe I'm only just now about to start putting drills in the pots. So yeah, this week has been, let me get these over here, a bit of a rest and relax week, a bit of a catch-up week and getting on top of things ready for November. Because as I say, the advent calendar is coming out on the 1st of November. 3rd of November, I have my general Christmas releases. 38, 48, here we go. And then the rest of the month, I need to do a lot of restocking, catching up. And also, I have had a very exciting month because I have recently got the opportunity to start working with Diamond Art Studio, whose kit I'm kitting up here, and they are going to be stocking my putty. They announced it last week. It was a very exciting secret to keep for a little while. Yeah, they are going to be stocking my putty. So they have a couple of Christmas scents coming in purple. This much they have told people already, so I'm not giving away any spoilers. And then we will go from there. So yeah, very, very exciting times. It was just really, really thrilling to get a chance to work with a company that I already had a lot of respect and time for, because they just, I think they do brilliant work. You know, their paintings are great. They're very reasonably priced. And also they're just lovely, lovely people. They're like really on top of it with their customer service, like best in the business. And I'm not just saying this because I'm working with them. You know, you can check my previous videos. I've said all these kinds of things before. So they're just the perfect people really to work with and that I can trust to carry my product. So yeah, absolutely thrilled. And looking forward to seeing how all of that goes, really. You know, so November's probably going to be quite busy as well. It's also my son's birthday month, so I've got to get on top of things with that because it's his birthday in 3 weeks, a little less than 3 weeks, and I haven't bought any presents yet or anything. just sort of negotiating with him about what he wants, because he's got certain ideas for things that, you know, are not all going to be manageable. It's getting harder now he's older, you know. He's going to be 10. So some of the things that he's starting to want are not necessarily, you know, £10 presents anymore. And we've got his party and oh gosh, yeah. There's a lot going on. The other thing at the moment is that my husband is in his busiest term of the year. So he works at the university here in Oxford, and the way that it works out is just this term is always very, very busy for him, which means we don't see as much of him, which is, you know, a shame, but it's just the nature of what he does. This is quite staticky, actually. I think I might get some dryer sheets to help me with these. Often the way with drills that come in baggies, you know, there's pros and cons of all different kinds. These are nice and easy because any that don't fit in the pot, I can just leave in the bag and I don't have to faff around anymore. The flip side is they may be slightly more prone to static. I don't know, to be honest. I've dealt with plenty of static in, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, the heat sealed bags. So it is what it is. Whoop. I should have a funnel or something for this. I think that would make it easier, but I don't know. I've probably got one somewhere, but I don't know where because I don't use it often. Right, I don't want to overfill that because the dryer sheet won't have any space to kind of move around with them. Let's give that a good shake now. There we are, already much better. Yeah, so he's very busy. Like I said, we've got my son's birthday and birthday party to plan. Well, his birthday party's okay, actually. He's having a bowling party because I found out that even though bowling in general is a surprisingly expensive activity, the deals that they have for parties are very reasonable, comparatively speaking. So we're going to go bowling with a few friends. They get a VIP lane, which is just like a fancy lane, and it gives them a few extra things. I can't remember exactly what he gets at this point. I think it's some extra treat foods and that kind of thing. And then they get food, and all of that was, you know, not much more per head than you would normally expect to spend for bowling anyway. So I'm not quite sure how that works, but I'll take it. And it means it's nice and easy for me because I've tried to be too adventurous with some of his parties in the past, and it just ends up really, really, really stressful. And people don't get back to you about whether they can come or not, and it just, yeah, it's a lot. And I'm kind of, he's, you know, he's about to be 10. I've done my fair share of those, I feel like. But we're also trying to plan our own birthday party because my husband and I both turn 40 in January. We're only 11 days apart. Sadly, I'm the older one, so he will be rather intolerable for a few days while he's 30-something and I'm 40-something. But yeah, we figured because it's both of us and because none of our family lives nearby, that we would host a party and kind of get everyone together. So just family and good friends. It's not going to be huge, but I mean, just with that, the numbers mount up. So it's been a bit of a pain, first of all, finding somewhere to have it and then thinking about how to do it, you know, because this just, it's not my forte, planning things like this. I don't enjoy it. It stresses me out. I just kind of want someone to do it for me. So yeah, I've been putting things off, but I think what we're going to do is there's a pub near us that we like, who will let us use part of the pub without a hire fee. So that's great to save a bit of money. It means we won't have exclusive use of the pub or anything, but there will be an area kind of reserved for us. So we will have that. and they don't have a kitchen there, but they're fine with us bringing in our own catering. So I've got to sort that. And that's the plan, really. You know, we'll put a bit of money behind the bar to get everyone a drink. We will put on some light food, and then, yeah, that's it. So it should, in theory, be pretty straightforward from here. But I just feel like I have quite a blockage about sorting things out for it. I don't know if it's because I'm a bit unhappy about being 40. I don't know if it's just general busyness, and it probably is mostly that. But yeah, I'm kind of delaying sorting things, and now it's only a couple of months away, so we really need to be reiterating details to family so they can book somewhere to stay. And oh, it's a lot. Someone come do it for me, please. I was actually looking the other day because I really wanted to use a local catering company, but I've had a look around and I can't find many options for the sort of thing we want. And when I was Googling it, I did come across just Sainsbury's doing that kind of thing. So Sainsbury's is just a big supermarket in the UK, just one of our general food supermarkets. And they seem to have a thing where you can book the day and then just order some things like platters of sandwiches and just like nibbly bits. And I'm wondering if that would be a cheaper, easier way to do it, rather than, you know, kind of researching different catering companies and getting quotes. And yeah, I'm not sure. What do you reckon? Because, I mean, we're not going to bill it as, you know, their main meal for the day. Well, it will start the party kind of mid-afternoon, so people will have had lunch, and we'll say, you know, there will be light food available. So I think that could work, and it would make it a lot easier. Because the other thing at the moment is the place where we're holding it, the landlord, like I've got all of it confirmed with him, but he's not very good at getting back to me. And I'm a bit neurotic and need to check details. So I feel like I have a mental blockage around, like, until I know the space that we're going to be in and exactly what the deal is, I feel weird about getting in contact with catering companies and booking things. And meanwhile, he's not getting back to me to discuss that kind of thing, which is a little bit worrying, but I think it just seems like what he's like, because, you know, he's done this in the past, but he's assured me he's got it booked for us. So yeah, what a palaver. But hopefully it will all come off, and it would be nice to have people here and do it. You know, we haven't done that for a long time. We had a party the year we both turned 30, but that was a kind of, so we had our son about 8 weeks before our 30th birthdays, well, mine at least. So we weren't really wanting to do a party then. And we'd also been married for 5 years in the May. And then we also thought, you know, a bit of a welcome to the world party for him would be nice. So we kind of lumped all those things together and had a party in the May of that year. And that was the last time we got everyone together, really. So yeah, it definitely would be nice. Oh, I can't tip these not very full bags into the pot directly, and I don't know why I keep trying. Like I said, my head is not in gear today. So it's been half term, like I said, and it's flown by, to be honest. It's already Friday of half term as I'm filming this. My son's gone out for the day with a friend and his dad, and he is hopefully having his very first sleepover there tonight, if he feels comfortable. So yeah, that's exciting for him, you know. Growing up, big step. He hasn't really wanted to do it before, so the fact that he wanted to is a really encouraging sign of, you know, his independence growing. And yeah, what else? We had, so I mentioned already that I did have to work a bit earlier in the week. So we haven't done as much as I hoped to. But yesterday we had a really nice day together. We went out for lunch, which I think is kind of our thing now in the school holidays, to go for lunch together and chat. Because we did it in the summer holidays and I really, really enjoyed it. So it was nice to be able to do that again. And then we went and played mini golf, which is something he's always enjoyed, me less so. He won by a couple. I have to say, I mean, I didn't exactly throw it, but there were a couple of holes when I could see him getting a bit twitchy about the fact that I was pulling too far ahead, where I maybe didn't take as much care as I could have done to take a shot. So, you know, we were 2 apart in the end, and maybe I could have won it, but I just, yeah. I'm a soft touch. I thought we'll make sure it's fun for him. Although, I mean, he's a good sport, so I don't know why I'm doing that really. But the things you do. And then we played pool. He's very, very good at pool. He beat me the first game by winning when I had not potted a single ball. But then we played another game and we were both hopeless in that. And I eventually won it. So yeah, not quite sure what happened there. This weekend we have our niece coming to stay, my husband's niece specifically. She is, oh, they don't quite fit, do they? I thought I could fit them all, but I can't, so I may as well tip a few back in. Yeah, so she's 4 and she's stayed with us by herself a few times. So it should be okay, you know, she's quite confident with that kind of thing, which is just like really novel to me because my son did not feel that way. And of course all kids are different, but yeah, it's amazing to me that she's comfortable to stay with us. So I'm looking forward to that. She's not coming till tomorrow. Oh, these are not going to come out easily, are they? That is a lot of static in that one. And I think we're going to go to a farm that's doing a Halloween type thing, kind of early evening. And then I don't know what other things my husband's planned. He's probably planned some other things because he's good like that. But yeah, I'm not sure what else we're going to be doing. And then she needs to go home on Sunday. It's a pretty flying visit. My son will be happy though. He absolutely loves having her to stay. But I'm not very organised considering, well, I keep saying, considering I've been off all week, but I haven't, have I? That's the whole problem. I haven't given myself a proper break. But yeah, I haven't washed the sheets for her bed yet. I haven't cleaned or tidied or anything. I mean, she's 4, she's not going to care, but I care. So yeah, I have to get on after this. And I really want to sit and do some diamond painting because I've actually hardly done any this week. I thought I was going to finish beach vacation this week, and now I don't think I'm going to. But I'm looking forward to showing you that one when it's done. There should be a post review at some point in November at least, because it's almost there. And oh my gosh, it's been so much fun. If you don't know what painting I'm talking about, I showed it in my end of quarter 3 review, which was either right at the end of September or early October, I can't remember. So yeah, gorgeous painting. One of those paintings that as soon as I saw the preview for it, I was like, yes, that is mine. 939. Not too many more to go, are there? I will say these cheap pots, like a lot of the lids don't fit quite as snugly and neatly and smoothly as more expensive ones maybe do. But you get what you pay for, you know. I think that's still a very good deal. Ah, it's spilling everywhere with this one. Oh dear. I can't wait to do this painting. I absolutely love it. I almost did it last year, but I think I got it, well no, I got it about this time last year, but I just had other paintings planned, I think. I wasn't feeling quite so ambitious about getting a couple of Christmas paintings done. So I just didn't get around to it. And also I don't often kit up paintings soon after I get them. I don't know why. I think it's just because I've got quite a lot in my stash. I always feel bad about not doing an older painting or something along those lines anyway. It's funny the ways your brain works. Or mine at least. I shouldn't assume anyone else's is as bonkers as mine. What's everyone watching or listening to while they're diamond painting at the moment? Because I think a lot of us are probably quite similar in that we do something while we diamond paint, right? I feel like I don't very often see people say they just sit and diamond paint and that's all they're doing. I alternate between YouTube, lots of channels I follow on YouTube, TV, I say TV, on the iPad, or rewatching old shows, and audiobooks. So at the moment, besides YouTube, I have been watching Married at First Sight UK. I used to watch Married at First Sight, and then I kind of got fed up of it and stopped watching it for a while. And then a friend drew me into this season, and it's been really fun, and I'm definitely sticking with it. But we both have agreed that it's kind of got a bit ridiculous as the series has gone on. If you don't know what I mean, it's a TV show. They've done it in various countries, and the premise is that people go into this experiment and they agree to be matched by experts and marry someone that they've never met before. I mean, they don't actually properly get them married. It's not a legally binding wedding, but they treat it like it is. And then they go on honeymoon together, and then they have to try and get to know each other, and they live together and just see if they can make a relationship work, which is an interesting idea for an experiment. And earlier series were very much, you know, that was what they seemed to be trying to do. But as time has gone on and the show's been very successful, I mean, it's the same thing that always happens with anything kind of reality TV-ish, isn't it? The producers spoil it in search of good TV, basically. And they do silly things that are just clearly not in the spirit of actually encouraging people to form a relationship. Or they pair people together that are just never going to like each other. Or they do silly things like they'll say, oh, we're going to have a bonding exercise today. You have to both tell each other 3 things you hate about each other and 3 things you love about each other. Well, since when is it helpful in a new relationship to sit down and point out the things you hate about each other? It's like, you're clearly just trying to elicit drama. That is nothing to do with helping them get together and build a relationship. Anyway, it annoys me because I feel like they've spoiled what was actually quite an interesting format originally. But yeah, maybe I'll have another break again after this series. I have enjoyed it though. And then I'm still watching Bad Girls. I think I might have mentioned that in a previous video, that's my current binge watch. I usually have a series that I have watched before in the past and enjoyed, and I re-watch that while I'm diamond painting, because I sometimes feel like if it's something I haven't ever watched before, I miss too much if I'm diamond painting. But yeah, re-watching is nice and comfortable and easy, isn't it? And, oh, it's just started raining. That's a shame, because my son and his friend and dad were going out to play football in a field somewhere. Oh, well. Yeah, so I'm doing that, and then what is the audiobook I'm listening to? It's the 3rd in a series that my friend got me into. Is it Sarah J Maas? Are they called Throne of Glass, maybe? Is that the name of the series? I'm so awful at remembering these things. I think that's it. Yeah, and it's been good. They're like really big, long books. So they're good in audiobook form, because if you had to carry a physical book, you'd have to do weights to be able to lift it. And the first 2 I really enjoyed. This 3rd one I have found a lot harder to get into. I'm probably over halfway now and gradually getting into it a bit more. But it's quite a long series, and I have it on good authority that later books get even better. So I am going to persevere. But yeah, I just haven't put that much time into that recently. So I think that's the problem. I'm not watching it for a while, not listening to it rather for a while. and then expecting to still be into it. I also want to listen to that Slayers, the Buffyverse audiobook that's come out recently. That's on my hit list for soon as well. So yeah, it's all good. The only problem is finding time to actually sit down and diamond paint and do any of these things. Oh, this lid does not really want to go on. There we are. 3766. And then when I'm watching things on YouTube, I obviously watch a lot of diamond painting channels. There's quite a few I follow at this point. I don't watch every video of any of them, I don't think, because that would be a kind of full-time TV watching job. But yeah, lots of people that I always go back to and watch more of. And then I like things like travel vloggers. So I enjoy watching Cara and Nate and Eamon and Beck. What are they called? I can't think of their names, the British ones. They're called Amy and Craig, but that's not their channel name, and I can't think what it is. I always remember their names because the man's name is exactly what my husband's name is. And also they're Welsh. They're from Barry, which is quite near where I'm from. So yeah, I like that kind of thing a lot. Something about van life videos, people who travel around in vans, that is endlessly fascinating to me, considering I would never in a million years actually want that lifestyle for myself. Which is, you know, not to cast any shade on anyone that likes that kind of thing. It's more to cast shade on me because I'm a bit precious about that kind of thing. You know, I like to stay places where I have a proper bathroom and a proper bed that will support all my aches and pains and all of that kind of thing. I mean, most of the time I don't particularly like even being away from home that much. I'm quite a home bird. So yeah, it's very much not for me, and yet it's so fascinating watching other people do it. Cara and Nate I started watching when they were, well, it was years ago now, quite a bit smaller, and they've just become huge. They have several million subscribers now, and they do the most adventurous things. Whereas when I started watching them, they were kind of just traveling around the world on a budget, and it was really fascinating still, but it was so different. I think it's just always interesting watching other people's lifestyles, isn't it? Anything that's different. Imagining what it'd be like to be in their shoes. I don't know. Yeah, very not me. I hope you can't hear my cat snoring in the background. He's done that to me before. I do TikTok videos. Well, I say I do them. I haven't done one in ages. But when I'm being organised, I do ASMR TikTok videos. And I did one a while ago that obviously captured people because it got a lot of views. And in it, you can hear Xander snoring. This is great. It's had like over 1 million views, and you can just hear my cat snoring in it. Brilliant. You're TikTok famous, Xander. Sort of. Very much not. Last few colours, then I'll go check on the Kitzberger. I had to shut him out of this room before I started filming because he was hassling Xander, and it's all very quiet. So I've got to check if he's okay. He'll just have gone to sleep upstairs, but I'm a bit of a neurotic cat mum. I like to keep an eye on him. And he likes to keep an eye on me at 6:30 in the morning, very reliably. Wakes me at 6:30 in the morning, purring and biting me if I do not respond to him quick enough. Ah, get in. So if you're interested in checking out this event, well, actually, will this video go up before? I think this video is going to go up on the 31st. So you could, if you watch this and if you have a painting from Diamond Art Studio, you could join in their event. You can see the details on their page. But yeah, I'm not sure. I can't remember when I've scheduled things for. And as you can tell from how the rest of this video has gone, my brain is not functioning very well today. The problem is, holidays are supposed to be restful. But when I'm not working, because I'm a bit of a night owl, the main thing that happens is I stay up too late because I feel like I can get away with it because I don't have to get up in the morning. But then I never get quite enough sleep. So yeah, I don't actually feel very rested at all for supposedly being off this week. But I'm not complaining, it's my own fault, my own poor choices. Last colour. Woo! This hasn't been too bad. I think at least half the video is me being dense about how to handle the labels, wasn't it? Gosh. I don't know. I don't know what was going on in my head there. There we are. Ooh, just a couple of sticky drills there. And a bit of static, so I'll put some of this in. All good. So, that was, in the end, pretty easy. And I'm all kitted up and ready to go. What should I do with these? I'm wondering if I just actually put these loose in here. That might be easiest. Normally I'd put them in a little pouch, but I don't really see why I need to. Let's see if that does up okay. Yes, fine. Okay, there we are. I'm done. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my slightly rambly chatter today and my inability to think things through at all. But yeah, thanks for watching. And if you have enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like on it. If you have not already subscribed to the channel and you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider subscribing. And I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye bye.